Do you ever walk by an overflowing trash can, so you hold your breath because the smell is so bad, and then you wait until you pass the trash can to let it all out? Or are you ever in a continuing ed lecture and you feel like you're starting to fall asleep, so you start tapping your foot on the ground, probably without even realizing you're doing it, to wake yourself up? As we know, our bodies are constantly changing and adapting to the many sensory inputs around us throughout the day. And we know that a lot of kids on the spectrum have trouble doing that. This is my favorite way to teach parents and therapists about sensory processing and how it relates to what we do as SLPs. Picture a child sensory processing as a seesaw. Now, I like to say a balanced seesaw represents a regulated child. A tipped seesaw represents a dysregulated child. And when a child's seesaw is balanced, that means that he is in his optimal learning zone. That's the place I like to call his optimal learning zone, meaning this is the place the child needs to be in order to learn in the most efficient way possible. Now, our job in sessions is when that child becomes dysregulated, when that child's seesaw tips, we need to bring the seesaw back to center. Why? Because that is the child's optimal learning zone. That is where the child needs to be in order to learn and process language in the most efficient way possible. How do we keep a child in his optimal learning zone? When we learn a child's sensory preferences, we're much more likely to keep him in his optimal learning zone. But something interesting I want to point out, when I presented with Jay Greenspan, who's the son of Stanley Greenspan, who created Floor Time, he shared this concept that I want to share with you, which is the scale of a child on the spectrum might not look like our scale. So for us, we might have something negative happen to us, and all we need is one positive experience to bring us back to a calm, regulated state. Whereas a child with autism might have a negative experience, but that child might need 5, 6 positive experiences to bring him back to a regulated state. One of the best resources we can use to help keep kids regulated in sessions are their parents. Parents are generally pretty great at calming down their kids. So what I made for you is this free download, which is a sensory processing parent reflection. So what you can do is give this to a parent, and the parent is going to describe a time that week when the child was dysregulated, and then they're going to talk about what happened, what helped, what did they learn from the experience. And not only will this help parents understand their child better, but it will help you know what to do in your sessions. So if you click on the link in the video description, you can go ahead and you can get this for free. And then what I'm also giving you is a visual of the sensory processing seesaw. So you can use this with parents as well.